Protesters are taking to the streets in Venezuela after contested election results there. Protesters in northern Venezuela pulled down a statue of former President Hugo Chavez, and security forces clashed with protesters in Caracas, firing tear gas and rubber bullets. Those protesters are calling for President Nicolas Maduro to cede the election to opposition leader Edmundo Gonzalez. Both sides are claiming victory. The U.S. says it has serious concerns over the results. It's asked to see the election data. So let's bring in ABC's Lama Hassan for more here. So Lama, we've heard from the human rights group Foro, which says at least one person's been killed there already and 46 people have been arrested in these protests. So what's the latest?
Well, as you just said, Trevor, protests have broken out across Venezuela. We've seen thousands of people protesting on the streets, angry at the election result, which they say is disputed. They believe that they are fraudulent. Clashes have erupted in some cities across, with protesters ripping down posters of Maduro, burning tires.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Frenshot Pearson, and welcome to my channel. It's the 30th of July. Yeah, 2:30 in the p.m. Happy Tuesday. Let's say it together. Praise God for whom all blessings flow. I am at a water park. If you look behind me, to my left, you can see one of the slides. I'm out with my girl and her family. It's good to get out. I need to get out. Very much so. Venezuela, once considered a mecca, and I still have a hard time wrapping my mind around a country arguably that has or had the second largest oil reserves on the planet. At least that's what's been reported. How is it that now they're in ruin? You ever thought about that? I am trying to make some Venezuela friends because I stay near a migrant shelter where there are 2,300. And I'm trying my best to talk to them. They've been waving their flags all week. And I know why. I would love to get a translator and talk to them. People, that's one of the countries I have watched since my early 20s. Just like I've watched the Middle East. Remember Hugo Chavez? That struck a bell? Yeah. I believe the powers took him out. Yes, I believe the powers took him out. For such a time as this. Yeah. You see, because the Antichrist has gradually wanted to develop anarchy, destabilize. That's when they were to conquer. Then they do it again as they interject the leadership over there. They tinker with the economy. They tinker with a lot of things. And again, it makes no sense. If you have a resource like oil, you should be bathing in it. Just like Saudi Arabia. Think about it. America struck a deal with Saudi Arabia overnight. Man, they got it going on. The powers choose who they want to uplift and who they want to make fold and envelope. Here's my point, and here's my question. Are we next? We have 51 states, arguably. Could it be a ripple in a pond effect? Whereas different cities can begin to erupt. Is it possible? It's debatable. I pray it never happens. But I see the similarities. Our greatest commodity is us. I know we got some oil, but trust me, our greatest commodity here in America is us. And what I want to do is spin off into the basis of America all the way to and draw from the video I did earlier about Kamala Harris. Because I read the comments and they're still coming. Thank God they're still coming. I've said it before. America was not built for you and me. America was built for the secret societies. It just hit me. The more and more I studied in my 20s and 30s, the more of the realization that came to me. It was built by the secret societies for such a time as this. Militarily, economically, governmental, the internet. In America, morally, to me, she's the harlot. She's the mystery Babylon. She knows how to affect and infect through military, economic means. Check out the guy who wrote the book. I believe it's called Economic Hitman. Just Google it. Watch a few videos on YouTube. That's in part to show you how it's done. America had to be established also by the grace of God. It's a dualistic nation. And thank God, because you and I, we're here. We breathe in that freedom, baby. But as we wrap up toward the last days and the goal of the one world system, we are beginning to see. Our senses sensed it, but we just couldn't make heads or tails. We couldn't figure it out. It was a blur. And they had us put on independent glasses, Democratic glasses, Republican glasses, and they kept showing us no matter what lens we looked through politically, it wasn't clear. But now as we experience some things and look in retrospect, I believe many of us can come to the same conclusion I've come to. America was not built for you, because if it was, we would all be enjoying this thing. But instead, at the end, many of us were at a flashpoint from civil war, living in the street, moving in with our friends and family, losing a job, working 2 jobs. If you're not working 2 already. It's enveloping. You see, because the powers have reached their goals in every aspect now. Now they're showing you why they made it such a prosperous nation, quote unquote, unquote. But again, we always question the budget. We always question why we keep spending money overseas instead of taking care of ourselves, the middle class and lower middle class and veterans and homeless. We always question it. Now we can see that it wasn't really built for us. We shared in it. Don't get me wrong. A lot of millionaires were made, a few billionaires. But arguably, I'd say half of those, they were part of the societies, the secret societies. So the illusion grew over the generations. We're 48 years old. We're still babies, infants. And again, we should have all been blinging by now. But it was only set up for them. So they used us. They had to grow their facilities, their businesses, their territories. They promoted a lot of you guys. They promoted me, opening up businesses as they raked in the money. And then, the late 60s, late 70s, we started seeing inflation. You see what I'm saying? They just start making us work harder to try to keep up You see what I'm trying to say? The first damage that they first did was what? Arguably the Great Depression. Because they really loaded up their pockets then. But you got to remember, they came out of the development of the Federal Reserve. They had it all planned. Just have to see the history and sequence. What am I getting at? Now that we can realize how this thing was formatted for them, now we can see how it's all working in their favor, because the policies, the goals and objectives, the agenda, it's dystopian, baby. And no matter who you run to, independent, Republican, Democrat, it all leads to the same destination: control. They played us. And all the while we had to learn blacks don't hate whites, whites don't hate blacks, men stop hating women. But they're playing the same old game. And now we got Kamala Harris allegedly playing the game. The dispute of, is she Asian? Is she Indian? Why is she trying to come off as black? Let me tell y'all how this thing go in my mind. There are those who allegedly, they join these societies. And they got to show devotion. They got to give an oath. And when they join, some of them have to sacrifice somebody or something. I didn't say all, I'm just saying. I'm just telling you how it goes. And the loyalty continues. It's a pyramid. I'm waiting on somebody to take that one day, put it in the video. I already got somebody put it out there last year. Pearson did this while he making the devil horns. Just Google Friendship Pearson on YouTube, and somebody took my hand signs and say, call me a devil. Shut up, will you? People are stupid. That's when I had 20-some thousand subscribers, and people was using my name to try to get popular instead of doing the work. I digress. But yeah, you got those out there, they sacrifice families, communities, countries, even nations, because they're in that clique. You feel me? They're in that clique. And in these last days, from what I'm seeing, from what I can tell, they really got to show devotion, because Satan is calling. I gave you a position. I gave you ranking. I gave you money, beautiful job, nice homes. You married into the system. Your wife or your husband was picked for you. You played the game. But now I'm at the end. I want to sit on the throne. I want to set up my one world system. I need you to sacrifice more. I need you to bankrupt a company. I need you to cause a housing crisis. I need you to create a George Floyd situation. I need you to join a secret group that protests all the time. Start some fires. Sell some illegal stuff. Instigate the gangs one toward the other. One against the other. Make them fight. You see, because I made you. You've been in this thing 5, 10, 20, 30 years. Your family was in this thing. And now I need this because I'm going in for the kill. Do you feel me? So when I think about Kamala, and I'm not saying that's what she's doing, but think about what I'm saying. People are out here, they got positions. You wonder how they got them? You wonder why they do what they do? You wonder why they implement the 5 Ds of delay, deny, debate, derail, then destroy. You wonder why the police are coming up with all types of excuses, or certain law enforcement coming up with all types of excuses. They didn't talk to me, that's why I didn't do this, and they didn't make the meeting, that's why this happened, and we couldn't do nothing when we spotted the killer. And come on, man. They're making America look stupid and uncertain and irresponsible in all of our pillars. That's what we have. Before you know it, the statues are falling, aren't they? They're falling in Venezuela. They're setting fires in Venezuela. They're going to probably set them here. Protest, demonstration. I'm not saying all protests aren't valid. I'm just letting you know how it goes. So I'm trying to respond to the text, to the comments. People, it's all planned. It's all planned. And it messes with Bible prophecy, straight up. It's not going to change no time soon. This is it. Satan said, I want to be like the Most High. He has his eye on the prize. He couldn't do it by himself. The fallen angels, the devotion of the fallen angels mixed with the bloodline, they work for the Antichrist. Arguably, this is the only generation that ever worked directly with the Antichrist. He is alive. And he is calling shots. He's calling shots allegedly in Congress, in the White House, in all of our major businesses. And it's going to get worse. Because it's a call for the kingdom. So you wonder why people are getting certain political positions? That's why. And they don't always agree. They'll use somebody to a certain degree, then box them out. There are layers to this thing. I've been saying the last few months, at the very top of that pyramid, they don't tell the ones in the middle and the bottom what the whole plan is. Satan has devotion to no one. I'm going to say it again. Satan don't have devotion to no one. Those at the top keep a secret from those in the middle, and they keep a secret from those who everybody rides on. So you got those on certain levels. Oh yeah, they'll put them in office. Then they'll turn on them. They just needed them. Might be a woman's issue, might be a man's issue, might be who knows what type of issue. Then they turn on them. And ain't nothing they can do about it but get mad. It's part of the game. Like I said, they don't always agree. So will Kamala make it to the presidency? Depends on them. Trust me, I don't think we've had a president elected since Kennedy. And the more research I do on him, I realize he wasn't everything that they told us either. It's deep. I said it's deep. The one world system is real. Venezuela has no business being in anarchy, but it is. America has no business being in the shape that it's in, but it is. We got to endure to the end, some way, somehow. And I believe God Almighty is allowing this thing to fold an envelope to show you just how severe the times are and just how much we need it. And yeah, we do need it. Try to keep it real on this station. I ain't got time to be shucking and jiving with y'all. Your next breath ain't promised. Politically, socially, economically, spiritually. I'm gonna tell you how I feel. You tell me how you feel. But America wasn't built for you. And now you can see it crystal clear. They're making that statue in New York Harbor turn on you. That's why your heart aches. That's why your mind is all confused. That's why you're crying. Because naturally our heart was in it. We believed in it. We were birthed in this thing. How could it turn on us? How could it spoil? That's part of the long-term plan. Build it up. They get everything they need as it built up. And then like the Phoenician bird, let it crash with you and me in it. Then they remold it and shape it into what they really wanted. I want you to marinate on that. It's deep. Everything was built on illusion and falsehood. And they done brought up presidents and congressmen and senators, men and women. Now you see it's all for show. All built up for one reason. And then boom, drop it like it's hot. When that egg crack, scramble it up, then mold it into what they really wanted it to be. Because they never wanted it to be a blessing for you. They're going to make it a throne so Satan can sit upon it. That's all biblical talk. I just have a way of breaking it down, but it's still biblical talk. Satan going to sit on the throne. And that's what he's doing. And I really want you to understand that's what it's all. That's what the whole thing is about. So Venezuela's going through it. Canada's going through it. The Middle East is going through it. Everything will be shaped and reshaped and remolded and adhere to the new kingdom. And America's no exception. Exception. So the Bible says, trust no man, trust no woman, trust no land. Put your trust and faith only in Jesus, the Son of God who died, who lived a perfect life, shed his blood, so we could come back into the fold. Ain't no making it great no more. Jesus did not die for the land. He did not die for the expectations of the political system. He's not interested in the system. That's why he flipped over the tables with the money changers. He know how they are. And by now we should know how they are. Hold on to God's unchanging hand. It won't be long. In part, God is allowing it. In part, Satan just doing what he always wanted to do. God got a time clock. And it's happening. So watch all these politicians. Black, white, Indian, Muslim, it don't matter. Trust me, majority of them, they're working for the Antichrist. The system is just that tight. It's just that tight. The majority of these people in positions today, they're heavily influenced by the Antichrist. It don't mean they didn't start out that way. It doesn't mean that they did start out that way. What it means is that the system is so corrupt. When you're in it, you almost ain't got no choice other than to get out. Because trust me, they'll threaten you. They'll take you out or your family. That's how serious this world government means to Satan. He's not going to let anything get in the way of it. He's too close. He's waited too long. Oh, he's been patient. But that devotion, He wants to look you square in the eye and challenge you. Like the BG said, how deep is your love? I'm Friendship Pearson. I pray you understand. But my fervent prayer is that you know Jesus. If you don't know him, John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whomsoever believe in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. I'm not hating on no group. I'm not hating on any black people. I ain't hating on no black women. You think the new system care about color? They exploit whoever they want to exploit at any given time. And they use whatever culture and whatever face or whatever sex, they use it. So don't think I'm coming off against black people. I'm telling you that we are a part of the problem too. Because a lot of us have sold out communities, nations. It's the truth. But what does it profit a man to gain the whole world, lose his soul? At the end, you can't buy your way into heaven. Or you had a grand old time here on earth, but at some point you'll pay in the lake of fire. But yeah, I'm not hating on my people. Just understand, my people have joined some of those societies too. And they ain't teaching color. They teaching progress. They want it done. The kingmakers want it done. And those who have joined these groups, they ain't looking at color. They're looking at the progress of the system that they're in. So chill out. Think about what I'm saying and think about how it really goes. They use the color thing to their advantage in so many ways, on so many levels. I'm Friendship Pearson. If you like the work, thumbs up, please subscribe. Tell somebody. This is the station that will cause you to think. God bless.